Hello everyone, welcome to Python Day 2 session. So let's understand. So in the previous session, in day 1, in Python session day 1, we have understood what is Python. We have understood what is Python, and we also understood the features of Python, and we have also seen the process of installation of Python and what is IDLE and how to use Edit Plus as a software for writing the Python programs. All those things we have seen in the day 1 session. If anyone is missed, please go and watch day 1 Python session. So now I would like to discuss I'd like to continue with these things in this day 2. And in this particular session, we are going to cover comments in the Python code. So how to comment a line in the Python code. And we are going to understand what are Python identifiers and what are the rules for declaring identifiers. What are the rules we have for Python identifiers? And we'll also understand the reserved words. We'll also understand the reserved keywords and the list of keywords available in Python. We'll also understand the declaration of variables, how to declare a variable. And after that, we'll see the functions and string data type. These are the things, these are the content that we will be discussing in this particular session. Let's start with Python identifier. What is a Python identifier? Let's understand what is an identifier actually. So in Python, any name, okay, any variable name or any class name, any method name will be usually called as an identifier. Okay, whatever you write in the Python program, each and everything will be called as an identifier. Any name in the Python program, any variable name or any class name, any method name, anything in the Python program will be called as an identifier. Let's understand here we have just try to understand this particular line, a is equal to 10. We know the actual meaning of this a is equal to 10. A is a variable and 10 is the value that we are assigning to the variable. So here, A is an identifier. We can call A as an identifier. Here, A is an identifier. We can call A as an identifier. Actually, the meaning is, so A is a variable. We are assigning some value to the variable. This is how we declare the variables and we assign values in the Python. But A can be called as an identifier. Why? Because just now we discussed that anything in the Python program is called as an identifier. It can be a variable name, it can be a class name, or it can be a function name, method name, or function name. Anything can be called as an identifier in the Python. Anything can be called as an identifier. So A can be called as an identifier. So there are some rules to define the identifier. Usually, the identifiers can start from small a to small z. And otherwise, they can also start from capital uppercase letters from A to Z, uppercase A to uppercase Z. You see, these are the lowercase letters. These are the rules to define the identifier. Identifier can start with small a to small z. And similarly, identifier can also start with capital A to capital Z. And usually 0 to 9, the numbers, it allows digits also. It allows digits also. We can also use digits in the identifier from 0 to 9. And we also use underscore. We can also use underscore in the identifier. So these are the things that we can use in the identifier. But one thing is, you can write anything. You can write anyhow by using all these combinations. Either you can start with the small lowercase letters. You can start with uppercase letters. We can start with we cannot start with the digit. This is the rule that we need to understand. So all these are the things that we can use for an identifier, but identifier should not start with the digit. This is the rule that we need to remember. That's what we are trying to understand here. Cannot start with a number. Identifier cannot start with a number. Okay, identifier cannot start with number. So you see here rule 1. Identifier consists of lowercase letters, consists of uppercase letters. Identifier also consists of the digits from 0 to 9. It will also allows underscore. But the only rule that we need to remember is it should not start with number. Identifier cannot start with number. You see, this is an example 1, 2, 3. If you are starting anything like this, it is invalid. Identifier should not start with any digit or number. Okay. So that is one rule we need to understand. And let's talk about some other examples. Okay, you see here total. We know the meaning of total. This is a variable. Try to understand this is a variable, and we are assigning some value to the variable 100. And we are declaring one more variable called total. And there is a difference between this total and this total. Here we have a lowercase letter. It is starting with lowercase letter. And you see here, this one is starting with uppercase letter, capital T. And this is a different variable. This is also a different variable. For this variable, we are assigning 100. And this variable, we are assigning 200. For this variable, we are assigning 300. So what we are trying to understand is, so whatever the things that you are defining here, okay? So that is case sensitive. So if you try to print this one, it will print 100. And if we try to print this particular total, this particular variable, it will print 200. And if I print this variable, which is having all the uppercase letters, it will print 300. So meaning, so it is case sensitive. It is case sensitive. So whatever the identifiers that you are, okay, whatever the identifiers that we are using inside Python program, they are case sensitive. So of course, it is a variable. Variable can also be called as an identifier. Okay, anything in the Python program is an identifier. So if you are defining variables or declaring variables like this, they should be they are case sensitive. Okay, they are case sensitive. You need to understand this one. So I'm just trying to show you. I would like to show you a Python program. So I have already shown you like, so how can we write Python programs? I asked you to install Edit Plus software. So how to install Edit Plus software? You can go to the Google and download Edit Plus software and you can install it. Very simple. One exe file will be downloaded. You can double click on the exe file and the Edit Plus software will get installed. Okay, you can go to the Google and search for Edit Plus software. So if you want, I can show you again. So Edit Plus is the software that you can use. This is similar to our Notepad, Notepad++, something like that. Okay. So you can use this for writing the programs. Edit Plus download. If you want, you can download Edit Plus software and you can use it. Second. Okay. So we'll show you how to download Edit Plus software. We can see like this. We can download like this, Edit Plus download. You can go for a free trial. You can download the software. Okay. So here we have some other options like more options. You can go for 64 Edit Plus 6.0 version. Okay. Go for the 64-bit and one exe file will be downloaded. You can install it. Okay. Once after installation, you can see the Edit Plus software here like this. Okay. In the search bar, if you go to the search bar and if you open Edit Plus, so this is how actually the application will be displaying. Okay. If you are able to see like this, the Edit Plus is installed in your machine. Okay. So now why I'm asking you to install Edit Plus is we can write the programs easily in the Edit Plus. Okay. We can write the programs easily in the Edit Plus. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a folder here on the desktop. On my desktop, I'm creating a folder which is called Python. Okay. I'm creating a folder called Python. If you want, I will be creating a new folder again. You see, I'm just deleting this folder, existing folder. I'm creating a new folder. I'll be creating a new folder, with the name of Python. I would like to save all my programs here. Okay. I would like to write all my programs here. I'm just opening the folder and I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to create a new file. Okay. You can open any text document. You can create any text document, anything like that. So I'm just writing a program. I'm saving the program with a name like sample and I'm giving the extension called .py. So all the Python programs must be saved with an extension called .py. .py stands for Python. So all the Python programs must be saved with an extension, must save with an extension called .py. So I've just saved the file. It is an empty file actually. If I would like to write any program, what I will do is I will just give a right click on it. I will open with Edit Plus software. I'm just going here. I'm giving a right click on the top of the file. So I'm opening that with the Edit Plus software. So this is how I can able to see this is how your Edit Plus software will get opened. And now whatever the program you want to write, you can write. So I'm just writing this one total. I'm just giving all these three variables over there. I would like to give all these three variables here, total 100. and there are different variables. Okay, this total is different and this total is different. I'm just giving three variables total with different. You see here in this total we have all the lowercase letters. In this total we have one uppercase letter starting with one uppercase letter, and here it consists of all the uppercase letters only. I'd like to print something here. I'm going to print. Uh, I'm going to print the first variable. Okay, I'm going to print the first variable. You see what is how I am printing in Python. How I am printing anything in the Python. I am printing if I would like to print anything in the Python, I'm using a print function. Try to understand what I'm using. I'm using a function called print to print any of the thing. Okay, if I want to print any variable, if I want to print any if I want to print any variable value, or if I want to print any string. Okay, so let me give you the string. Okay, I'm just writing like so. Welcome to Python. So I'm just writing like within the double quotes. I'm keeping like welcome to Python. I'm just saving this. I'm just saving this. I would like to run this Python program. Okay, this is a program. Like you can guess the output now. Here I'm just declaring the variables, three variables, and have assigned all the I have assigned values for those three variables. So for the first one, I'm giving 100, second one 200, third one 300, and these are different variables. This is different. This variable is different. This variable is different, and this variable is different. So I'm just writing like I'm just trying to print welcome to Python. So you can see now the output that I would be looking for this Python program is welcome to Python only. Why? Because I'm using print function. How we are recognizing that print is a function? What is print? Print is a function. Print is called as function here. Anything can be called as a function in Python if we use the syntax like this. If we are opening the brace and closing the brace, there is also a function. We'll see the use of this type function later. I'm just writing like this. Okay. There is a function called type to understand, to see the data type, of any particular variable. Type is also a function. You see, every function, okay, if you are defining any function, that function will have the braces like this. The function, after the function, okay, after the word, print is a function. Immediately after the word, you should enclose the brackets like this. You should enclose the brackets. Type is a function, print is a function. Okay. So now what I'm doing is in the print function, okay, within the double quotes, I'm just writing like welcome to Python. I'm saving this and I'll show you how I am going to run a program. So go to the folder, go to the place, go to the file, okay? Go to the file where you are saving your Python file. Go to the location where you are saving your Python program, and there you try to open your command prompt. Just try to open the command prompt in this particular location, So now I'm able to open the command prompt here. So a very simple command I'm going to run. Okay, my file name is sample.py. We have already seen the file name that I am saved is sample.py. Before the file name, I would just like to add one more keyword like Python space sample.py. Python space sample.py. So we are able to see a line called welcome to Python, right? We are able to see the output. This is the output that we are getting. When I'm running this program, this is how I'm running the program, Python space sample.py. So I'm writing all the programs at one place in one folder. And there I'm opening the command prompt. If I want to run the program, I'm using this. This is how actually I'm running the program, Python space sample.py, so that I could able to run the program and able to see the state. And this is the output that I'm getting for the input that I have given. Let me open this. And again, I would like to remove this statement. And what I'm doing is I would like to print the value of the variable. If you want to access the value of the variable, don't keep the variable inside the double quotes. Here we should not keep the variable name in the double quotes. That is the difference. We just now understood how to access the string, how to print the string. If you want to print the string, I'm just keeping the string within the double quotes, the print function. So now the output of this particular program is welcome to DevOps. It will print whatever the content we keep inside the double quotes. It will simply print that particular statement. But now I don't want to use this double quotes. I just wanted to give a variable name. Let's see what is the output that I'm going to get now. I'm going back. I saved the program. Okay. I just saved the program. You see, I'm going to the file, saving this program, going to the command prompt again. Again, I'm running the program. I'm able to see Okay, when I'm running the program, I'm able to see like name A is not defined. Okay, let me open the file. What is the, okay. So here I don't have any variable name with A. So let me give the variable like total. Okay, the first variable. Okay, this is the first name I'm giving. I would like to print the, I would like to, I'm just giving the name of this, okay, total variable. Okay, I'm giving the total name here. I'm saving, going here, trying to run. When I'm running the Python program, I could able to see the output as 100. Hope you're able to understand like how I'm running the Python program. I can able to see the output as 100. And you might also understood like how to print the variable, how to print the variable value. Suppose if I would like to access, if I would like to print the values of the variables, if I would like to print the values of the variables, you just need to give the variable name. That's it. If you are giving something like this, any statement, okay, if I give something like this, if I give the same variable name within the double quotes, it won't access, it won't understand that total is a variable. I'm just saving this. Again, I'm running the Python program. What happens is, it is trying to understand the very first one as variable, and it is accessing the value of the variable. The second one, we just kept that inside the double quotes. You see here, we are just keeping that inside the double quotes. So it will be considered as a string. It is going to print the string which is there inside the double quotes. Here in this case, in this print statement, the total is a string. It will consider the total as a string. Here in this statement, in this scenario, it will be considering the total as a variable name. Hope you all got it. The difference between what is the difference like how we are printing the variables, values of the variables, and how we are printing the strings. This is how we are using. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next thing. So try to understand that if I'm going to print another total, if I would like to print another total, you see, I'm just copying the same print statement, removing this. Don't want to print like this. I'm removing the double quotes. I just wanted to print the value of the variable. Now I'm giving TOTAL, and at the same time, I would also remove, I would also give one more thing like I'm removing the all, I'm giving all as uppercase letters. I'm just giving this total, saving this, and I'm going to run the Python program now. You can see Python space sample.py. When I'm running the Python program, I could able to see the different values. This is for the value 100 is for the first variable called total. This is second variable. This is third variable. You can see the difference between all the three variables. This is one variable. This is another variable. This is another variable. So you need to understand that, see, if I am accessing this particular variable, it is printing 100. If I am accessing this particular variable, it is printing 200. And while accessing this particular variable, which is having all the uppercase letters, it is printing 300, meaning it is case sensitive. We need to understand all the identifiers that we are defining, they are case sensitive. Okay, let's understand one more example. In the same example, okay, in the same example, what I'm trying to do is, I would like to add one more thing, okay? If is equal to 20, I would like to add one more variable. Just consider that if is also a variable, okay? Just consider if is a variable and I'm assigning some value to the variable 20. And I would like to print, okay? The next statement you see, the next statement what I would like to do is in the print statement, I'm writing like if can anyone guess the output now? What I'm doing is just consider if is a variable. I'm assigning 20 value to the variable and I would like to print the if I would like to access the value from the if variable. I'm saving this. I'm going to run the Python program. You can see now there is a syntax error. We are getting some syntax error saying that invalid syntax. There is some syntax error, okay? Invalid syntax. Syntax is not valid here. Syntax is invalid. What is the reason why the syntax is invalid? Let me explain you why the syntax is invalid. Okay, why syntax is invalid here. So we are using the variable name as if. We cannot use the if as a variable name because if is already a reserved keyword. If is a reserved keyword, we cannot use the reserved keywords or reserved words. We cannot use the reserved words or keywords as variable names. Definitely it will throw the syntax error. So since if is a reserved keyword, we cannot use if as a variable to assign some value. Here, what we are doing, we are just declaring a variable like if, and we are assigning some value to the if. It is not a good practice. We cannot use all these things. We cannot use these keywords. These are the reserved keywords. So if is already there, we cannot use this as a variable name. Else if is there, we cannot use this as a variable name. We cannot use all these things as a variable names. Apart from this, you can use anything as a variable. These are the reserved keywords. These are the reserved words or keywords. Totally, how many keywords are there? 33 keywords are there. Totally 33 words or keywords, 33 keywords are there. These are the 33 keywords. You can count. And, or, not, is, if, else, while, for, break, continue, return. All these are the 33 keywords. We have totally 33 reserved keywords, and you see all the other keywords are in the lowercase letters, and only these three things. Okay, only these three words are in the uppercase. We have true, false, and none. These three things are in the uppercase. True is starting with an uppercase letter, only starting letter. The starting letter is the uppercase letter. In false, the starting letter is an uppercase letter. In none also, N is an uppercase letter. Here in these three words, the starting letters are uppercase letters. Apart from these three, everything is lowercase letters. Everything is defined in the lowercase letters. All the reserved keywords are in the lowercase letters only. We have totally 33 reserved keywords. All the reserved keywords are in the lowercase letters only, except three: true, false, and none. We need to remember these three. And these three also starting with a capital letter, starting with uppercase letter. That's it. Not all are uppercase letters. Not all are uppercase letters. Only these three are starting with an uppercase letter. True starting with uppercase letter, capital T. False starting with an uppercase letter, capital F. Capital N. None. None starting with a capital letter called N. Capital N. Apart from these three, every word we are able to see here, every word we see here, everything is called as a reserved keyword, and everything is in the everything is in the lowercase letters only. Okay, very important observation. Only true, false, and none are in the uppercase. Only true, false, and none. Only these three things are in the uppercase. Let's go ahead and let's start with let's start a simple program. How to calculate sum of the two numbers. Let's write a simple program to calculate the sum of two numbers. Okay, very simple. Okay, let me go to the uh, editor, edit plus notes. What I'm doing is very simple. I'm just giving a variable called A, and one more variable I'm just giving like B. I would like to print A plus B. I would like to print A plus B. What I'm doing, I'm using a print function, print method or print function. Anything is same. Method or function, anything can be same. So we can call it as a print function or print method. So in this print function, you see, what I'm writing is just A plus B. It is a function. It is going to add these two things, A and B, and it is going to produce the result. So let me show you. I'm saving this one. I'm going to run a program. Can you able to see the output as 30? Yes, we can able to see the output as 30. By using print function, I can able to add two numbers, sum of two numbers. Very simple, right? Print is a function, which is giving the sum of the print is a function. When I'm writing A plus B inside, it is understanding, it is trying to understand that it needs addition operation to be happen between these two numbers so that the print operation is getting working fine. Print function is working fine here for adding the numbers. This is a simple program which is used to calculate the sum of two numbers. Okay, let's go ahead and let's start with another things. Let's discuss the remaining things you see here. We understood, right? We have given two things, A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20, and we are going to print A plus B. Anyway, the final output that we will get is 30 only. And we can also see here, we are going to write the same program. We are going to understand few other things with the help of the same program. A is equal to 10. So after writing A is equal to 10, you see, I would like to show you. See, when I'm writing A is equal to 10. Okay. I'm just clearing the screen. I'm clearing the screen. What I'm doing is A is equal to 10. This is the very first statement that I've written. In the command prompt, what I'm doing is Python is working fine. So what I'm doing is I'm just giving a statement like A is equal to 10. I'm trying to uh, declare a variable and I'm assigning a value 10 to that variable. Okay, A is equal to 10. So now what I'm doing is I would like to know the data type. See, I'm not giving any data type. See, when you see here, when you compare with the previous programming languages, in any other programming languages, like we used to declare the data type like this: int A is equal to 10, int B equal to 20, C equal to 30, like this, like that. But here we are not using any data type. This is one advantage in the Python. We don't need to use any data type for the variable. By default, it will understand the data type of the variable. So when I'm passing the value called 10, by default, it understands that 10 is an integer. So if you want to know what is the data type of A, we can use another function called type function. So far, we understood what is print function. Print function is used to print that you write something in the double quotes, which is in the form of a string. Print statement is something like which is useful for printing something which you write in the form of a string, the double quotes. At the same time, type is also a function which is used to print the data type of the one. So now you just declared A is equal to 10 and I'm writing like, I'm just trying to print something like type A. I'm just trying to print something like type A. Type is a function. Type is a function which returns the data type. So whose data type? A's data type. What is the data type of A? A is equal to 10. Based on this value, it is identifying that it's an integer. It is an integer. How it is identifying? How it is recognizing? Based on the number that we are providing. For example, P is equal to 20.5. I'm using a variable called B. I'm just declaring one more variable called B and I'm assigning a value. So if you have any confusions, I'm just clearing the screen. So clear command is used. I'm just doing all these things in the command prompt itself. You know how to write things in the, how you are going to write the program in the command prompt. We have already seen in the day one session. You can go back and watch. So let me declare one more variable, which is called 20. P is equal to 20. And I don't know. Okay. I don't know. Suppose if I want to print 20, what I will do is print of B. This is the one. This is the function which is simply printing the value of the B. Print of B is giving the value of the B. So what is the meaning of print? Print is a function which will print the value of the variable. And if you write something in the form of string, it will print whatever you give inside the string. It will just try to print that one. So in the double quotes, we are just writing B. We are just trying to give B so that it will print only B. So now I am going to introduce one more function which is called as type. I am writing type of A. Sorry, I would like to write now type of B. What is type of B? What is the data type? So type is a function which returns the data type of this particular variable. If I write type of B, it will return the data type of this B variable. How print of B is printing you the value of printing the value of the variable. In the same way, type is also a function which prints the data type of this variable. What is the data type of this variable? Anyhow, in Python, we are not declaring any data types, but based on the value, it will print. Based on the value that you are giving, based on that, it will print the value. Okay, so now let me give one more example. I'm going to use C is equal to 20.5 something. Okay, I would like to use something like C is equal to 20.5 or 30.5, something around like that. And you see here, what I'm doing is I don't want to use print function. I'm just using the print function type of C. Very simple thing. I'm using a type function. Type of C means it will return the data type of this variable C. It will return the variable data type of the variable C. What is the data type of variable C? Float. How it is recognizing that it is a floating point value? You see the value here. We have already provided the value. Value is 30.5. The value is 30.5. It is able to identify that 30.5 is the floating point value. The type function is able to correctly identify the type is a floating point value. Why? Because the value that you have provided is 30.5. Hope you understood the difference between Hope you understood the difference between print function and type function. Print is a function. If someone asks you what is a print is a function which is used to print the values of the variables, which is used to print some strings. If I'm writing something in the double quotes, print welcome, yes, it will print. Print is a function. In the same way, type is also a function which is used to return the data types of the variables. If you write type of A here, it will print the data type of the variable A. And if you would like to print, if you would like to give like type of B, it will just try to print the data type of the variable B. So like the type is a function which is used to print the data type of the variable. So which returns, okay, type is a function which returns the data type of the variable. Okay, you can see some examples. If A is equal to 20.5, what I'm doing, if A is equal to 20.5, let's understand. A is equal to 20.5. A is equal to 20.5, and I would like to print A. What is the output? 20.5. And if I would like to see the data type of A, what is the data type of A? Float 0.5, 20.5. It's a floating point value. 20.5 is a floating point value. Hope you understood the data type. What is the type function? We understood the print function, and we also understood the type function. You see what we have understood so far. We have understood. So this one we missed, I think. So we need to understand how to write the comments in the Python code. Let me go here. What I'm doing is, you see here, this is the 3 lines program. I'm going to comment something here. I would like to comment something here. I have 3 lines, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. And in the print statement, what I'm doing is I'm commenting the line with the hash symbol. How to comment the lines in the Python program with the help of hash symbol. So if you give hash symbol, if you put hash symbol before the line, I'm saving it and I'm going to the command prompt and I'm going to run it. Let me open once again. Here, what I'm doing is I'm just opening the command prompt. So I'm how to run a Python program. We are already aware of it. So to write a Python program, how can I write, to run the Python program, how can we run it? Python space sample.py. We are not getting any output. What is the reason we are not getting any output? Why? Because we have commented it. You can see here, we commented it. A is equal to 20, A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20. But while trying to print this, you see here, I am just using the print statement. By using the print statement, print is A plus B. And if I want to commit anything, here, I'm just keeping the hash symbol. In Python, how to comment any lines in the Python programming. Hash is used to comment any lines in the Python programming. Just you see here, I'm trying to show you an example. I'm just keeping the hash symbol before this print statement and I'm saving this and I'm running this. Otherwise, the output of this program is A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. Without hash symbol, if I remove the hash symbol, the output of this program is 30. But when I'm keeping the hash symbol here, and if I make the changes and let me run the Python program, it is not giving any output. Let me show you. I'll remove this one. And I'll save it. Try to run it once again. Now we can able to see the output as 30. So as is used to comment the lines in the Python. If you don't want any line, if you want to comment it, you just need to comment the line with the help of hash symbol at the starting of the line itself. Okay, before the line starts, you can keep hash symbol so that the line gets commented. Let's move on to the another thing. So far, what we have covered, you see, we understood how to comment lines in the Python code. We also understood what is Python identifier. I told you like anything in the Python is called as an identifier. Python identifier can start with small a to small z. Identifier can start with capital A to capital Z. Identifier cannot start with the digit. This is very, very important thing. Okay? Identifier cannot start with an digit or number. It is invalid. If you start any identifier with the digit, it is invalid. case sensitive. If you declare any variables, identifiers, whatever it is, they are case sensitive while accessing it. Okay, don't think that we can define anywhere and we can access it in any way. The way you are defining them, okay, the way we are defining them, we use the same way for accessing them also. If I'm using if I use lowercase letters for the variables, we should access the value of the variable with the lowercase letters only. And we also understood like totally there are 33 reserved keywords. We have totally 33 reserved keywords and we cannot use if as a keyword. Why? Because not only if we cannot declare anything in the reserved words. Whatever the list of whatever the reserved keywords that we were mentioning, there are totally 33 keywords. We should not use any one particular one. We should not use any one. We should not use any one of the keyword as the variable name. We won't accept. Reserved words cannot be used. Reserved keywords cannot be used for declaring variables. Definitely it will throw the error. And what are the list of keywords? Once again. So let's understand what are the list of keywords we have. Okay. So these are the list of reserved words or keywords we understood. These are the 33 keywords that we have seen. And we cannot use these in these 33 keywords. We cannot use anything as we cannot declare anything as variable. Okay. This is the example. If you are declaring this, if you are declaring like this, you will get the syntax error. And we have also seen, let's understand. Okay. We have also seen the type function. We have also seen the type function along with the print function. Print is a function, as I told you, print is a function. At the same time, the type is also a function. What is the use of type function? Type is used to return the data type of the variable. Type is used to return the data type of the variable. See here, small example, a is equal to 10. The data type of 10 is a. What is the data type of this a? It will print integer. Okay, we have seen some examples, right? We have seen some examples. Suppose if I'm giving like a is equal to 10, a is equal to 10. Sorry, let me show you. I'm giving like this Python. I'm just giving the variable name as 10. Yeah, variable as 10. A is equal to 10. And if you want to see the data type of this variable, anyhow, we are not defining the declaring data types in the Python. If I would like to see the data type of A, definitely it will print A is an integer. At the same time, if I'm giving the variable name as 10.5 and try to print try to print what with the help of type function, you can see what kind of data type it is. It is a floating point value. Okay. So like that, we can see the data types and you see here A is equal to true. What I'm doing, I'm just writing like A is equal to true. I'm just giving like A is equal to true. Always remember the first letter in true, false, the first letter in true, false or none, it should be the first letter in true, false or none should be an uppercase letter. A is equal to true. Type of A, it is Boolean. True is a Boolean value. True or false? They are Boolean values. And you see here, when I'm giving the small letter, if A is equal to true, and that here I'm giving the small letter. Okay, I'm using small letter. And I'm trying to see if I'm assigning A is equal to true, it is printing the output like name error, name true is not defined. Did you mean true? It is immediately responding like you cannot use, okay, in Python, you cannot use, not only in Python, usually whenever you are using the Boolean values, true or false, true, false or none, you should start with uppercase letter. When I'm giving in the lowercase letter, it is printing, it is throwing the error. It is throwing the error. Let's move forward and let's understand other things. These are the data types that the Python contains. Python contains the data types like int, float, complex, bool, string, bytes, byte array, list, tuple, set, frozen set, dictionary, and there are many data types, you see. Python contains of many data types. These are the data types. We'll understand all the data types in detail. No worries about it. Just for your information, we're just giving here. Python consists all these data types. Python consists of all these data types: int, float, bool, string, bytes, byte array, list, tuple, set, frozen set, dictionary. All these are the data types. Okay, these are the data types. Anyhow, we understood what is a data type. Int is a data type, char is a data type, float is a data type. In Python, we don't need to give any, we don't need to define any data type. By default, it will understand based on the value. Based on the value, if you are giving a 10 value, it understands that 10 is an integer. If you are assigning a value of 20.5, it understands it's an floating point value. If you are assigning true, it understands the data type is Boolean. Like that, it will understand, it will return the data type even if you want to see the data type by using type function. Type is a function which is used to return the data type. And these are the data types. Let's move on to the next thing. Function. Let's understand what is a function. So far, we have understood print is a one function, type is one function. At the same time, you see, type is one function. What is the use of type function? So far, we understood print function, type function. Print is used to print any string. Print function is used to print any particular string, which you keep in the double quotes, or it can also be used to access the value of the variable. Type is a function which returns the data type of the variable. And ID, the next function, one more function. We are trying to learn one more function. What is ID? ID returns the memory address of the variable. ID returns the memory address of the variable. What is the memory address? Let's understand what is the memory address of the variable. If you are storing anything in the memory, if you are going to store anything in the memory, see, I'm just trying to show you, explain you with an example. Try to understand. Consider we are having a variable A. Okay, we are just declaring a variable A. And we are going to store some value inside the variable A. Where this 10 gets stored? This particular 10 will get stored in the memory address. This particular 10, okay, if I'm storing some value, usually in Python, everything will be stored in the form of an object. In Python, everything will be stored in the form of an object that we will discuss later, but try to understand. We are now understanding the concept of variable. Just consider if I'm giving A is equal to 10, okay? A is equal to 10. So if it is A is equal to 10, what happens is 10 will get stored. The value 10 will get stored here in the memory. The value 10 will get stored in the memory. And we are going to access that with the help of the variable name. Why? Because see where the 10 is getting stored, the 10 is getting stored in some memory address. 10 will have some memory address. Let's assume the memory address of the 10 is something like 174. This is the memory address. This might be the memory address or 478. Anything. Okay, you can take any example. I'll show you how the memory address looks like. Just consider this is the memory address. And we don't know actually in which memory address the 10 is being stored. In which memory address the 10 is getting stored. So what we are doing is we will try to access with the help of the variable always. If any value is to be stored, the value will get stored in the memory address. We cannot access this value with the help of memory address. Even if we know the memory address, we can access. But we don't know, right? It is very difficult to know the memory address. That's the reason why we will attach some reference names. A is a variable name that we are attaching. So we are calling this value with the help of A. We are accessing this value from this particular address. Getting? We are accessing this value from the particular address. We are accessing 10 from the memory address of this one. This is how we are trying to, we are accessing the values. So now each and every value that you are storing will have some memory address. This is the memory address. If you store 20 in the memory, so 20 will be stored in the memory address. 20 will be stored in some memory address. 20 will be having some memory address. The memory address might be something like this. 17. Okay, any number. You can just assume for now. This is the memory address. Every object that you are storing will have some memory address. Okay. So let me show you. So what does this ID function says? ID function will return the memory address of the variable. So let me go to the program and show you. Okay, I'm removing all the lines. I'm just giving like a is equal to 10. That's it. Only one variable a. I'm assigning a value called 10. I'm assigning a value called 10. And what I'm using is I would like to print a. I would like to print a. You know the output of this particular function. Print is a function. Print is a function which is used to print the value of the variable or otherwise string. At the same time, we also know ID of A. Let's understand. Let me show you ID of A. Usually, if you are not able to see here, let me show you. I'm just giving A is equal to, I'm clearing the screen. You can see here. I'm just giving A is equal to 10. I'll show you the output here. A is equal to 10. What is ID of A? This is ID of A. ID of A will give you the address, memory address. This is the memory address. I'm just giving B is equal to 20. What is memory address of B? To know the memory address of B or to access the memory address of B, we use ID function. Otherwise, what is the use of ID function? ID is a function. How you are recognizing that ID as a function? I told you already, anything you write in this form, print, open, close brackets, type, open, close. Okay, we are opening the bracket and closing the bracket. ID. We are writing the syntax like this. Any syntax if you write like this will be called as a function. Print is a function, type is a function, ID is a function. Anything written like this will be called as a function. Hope you understood. Anything written like this will be called as a function. ID is a function. Print is a function. Type is a function. ID is a function. Anything written like this can be used as a function. Hope you are able to understand what I am trying to explain. Anything can be written like this will be called as a function. Right. What is the use of ID function? ID returns the memory address of the variable. If you declare a variable, if you define a variable, so if you want to know the memory address of the variable, you can use ID of A, ID of B. We're able to see the output. I'm declaring the variable like so. See, you see, C is equal to 20.5. Floating point value I'm giving. And you use ID of C. What is the use of ID of C? This one. ID function will give you the memory address of the value. If you want to know the memory address of the, see here, if you want to know the memory address of the variable, usually you declare the variables. This variable will be stored somewhere in the memory. If you want to know the memory address of the variable, we use ID function. Let's move on to the next topic. Okay, you see, we understood. We understood like the data type, the type function and print function. And you see here, we know the int data type, floating data type, you see. For example, if I'm giving like A is equal to 12.7, A is equal to 12.7, I'm just clearing the screen. We understood what is ID function. I'm writing like print A is equal to 12.7. If I would like to know the data type of this 12.7, type of A, type function is different, ID function is different, type is different. Type is used to know the data type. Type function is used to know the data type of the variable. The data type of this particular one is float. Got it? Let's go to the next data type. Okay, next data type, Boolean data type. What is Boolean data type? So I'm just writing like A is equal to true. Okay, I'm just giving like A is equal to true. I told you already, whenever you write true, false, or none, the starting letter will be uppercase letter. A is equal to true. I'm just trying to understand what is true. I'm trying to print A of a type of A is printing like Boolean. This Boolean. Got it? Let's understand this one. Okay, let's understand. So, I'm just copying this program and I'm trying to paste it over here. You see here, what I'm doing is I'm having three variables. A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. Okay, C is equal to A greater than B. I'm using some expression here. You see, C is equal to, look at the program here. C is equal to A greater than B. And then I'm trying to print C. Let us see the result first. Okay, let's see the output then. How I'm going to see the output of this one is, what I'm doing is I'm trying to open the command prompt here. So I'd like to run the Python program like this, Python space. We know how to run the Python program, Python space. The file name of the program that I've written is sample.py, and it is simply printing the output as false. What is inside the program? Let's understand what is inside the program. A is equal to 10. Variable A, we are declaring and we are assigning 10. Variable B, we are declaring, we are assigning 20. C is equal to A greater than B. What is this A greater than B? A greater than C is equal to A greater than B is an expression. When you are giving some expression and you are trying to print the print of C, it is just giving you the output of this one, whether it is true or false. So the expression will be evaluated. The output of this expression will be given in the form of true or false. If you are giving C is equal to A greater than B, the output of this expression will be given in the form of true or false. What is the value of A? 10. B is 20. 10 greater than 20, false. Obviously false. The expression says, so based on the values that you provided, this expression is false. C equal to A greater than B. This expression is wrong based on the values you provided. So when it is printing C is false. C is not true. C is an expression. What is the expression A greater than B? It is validating. 10, it substitutes the values 10 and 20. 10 greater than 20. 10 is not greater than 20. So C is false. So it will print C as false. So this is how we can able to understand. Okay, this is how we can understand. This is Boolean data type. Okay, to represent the logical values, Boolean is used. True or false. Okay, true, false. These are the Boolean values. True, false. T and F should be in the uppercase. If you're using the Boolean values, remember T and F should be in the uppercase. Okay. So this is what I would like to teach in the day 2 session. We'll continue the rest of the things in the next session. Thank you all.